Hi guys, thanks for downloading this week's Deception podcast. A couple of things before we get started. We had a slight technical issue this week. We're struggling a little bit with the whole YouTube and audio thing running side by side. I'm just having to learn a few things that I've not had to do before, so bear with me. We will get sort of up to speed in the next couple of weeks. But we've lost the first few minutes of the show this week. You're not really missing much. It's just sort of us introducing ourselves. We're going to pick up from Magic News. Just thought I'd let you know though, so you don't think you've skipped ahead or anything like that. Also, we recorded this show before the weekend, so we haven't been able to talk about the fantastic Jamie Raven on Britain's Got Talent, which has pretty much been the talk of magicians this week. So you'll have to bear with us until next week to see what we think of that. We missed the boat a little bit on that one, but that's unfortunately how it goes when you do a pre-recorded show. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Not much to talk about this week, if I'm honest. It's a quiet news week.
Yeah.
So, but we have got this here. What Jordan has bought this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what have you bought this week?
So, yeah, Jordan, what have you perfect score you've bought by John Allen?
Yeah, I thought
I like
I'd give
John
it a
Allen.
go. It is by John Allen, yeah. By our very own John Allen.
No, this is...
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, yeah.
If you've not seen
I thought I'd give it a whirl. It's basically, it gives you the ability to do a perfect card fold, whether it be a Mercury card fold or into quarters or something like that. My Mercury card
What do you
fold...
mean? Well,
No, it does an eighth.
do you mean like into eighths or sixths?
It does sixths.
Yeah, you
doesn't it?
can fold it into...
What's that called, the one you can do with one hand? It's kind of like you make a fist. You hold the card and make a fist.
I don't know.
I'm not going to show the gimmick either.
You've got the book there of John Allen.
Yeah. You do this, if you're watching a video, you go like this. That's one.
Perfect.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
if you flatten
awesome.
it out, that's all right. That's six. That's kind of what
You
it's
know
called,
what?
though.
That's the best fold he's ever done in his life, and he's now going to watch the video back and think, how did I do that? I think
There's that one. So, but what this does basically is you pre-score the card, don't you, to create a Mercury fold. Anyway,
Yes.
The reason we're talking about it is that Jordan has timed himself to see how many he can do. Well, you know what? I'll let Jordan himself tell you.
Yeah, I've timed how many I can do.
No, not you, Jordan.
No,
This
this Jordan.
Perfect score by John Allen, and I'm going to see how many cards I can score in 5 minutes. Okay, let's go.
Now, obviously, we're not playing this for 5 minutes.
No, we're not.
He's sped it up.
Speed it up. I hope so, anyway. The thing is, you
Pretty
can't see what he's
otherwise.
doing. So all you see is a lot of Jordan looking down at his crotch and his arms
Stop
moving
the
fast.
clock.
Oh,
5 minutes.
So the 5 minutes are up. That's all he could find of the theme tune to Record Breakers.
Woo! Okay, so we managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
we threw three away.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 cards in 5 minutes. That's not too bad to say that it was my first go. There you go.
Thank you for your input, Jordan.
17. So a deck is about 15 minutes then. By that
I reckon you could probably do it a little bit quicker, to be honest.
Once you get into it. Now, what you're getting here is like a template for the card to sit in, and then something with a blade on, I assume.
Yeah.
But the blade, I'm assuming it's the right width so that it only cuts through the top layer of the card. Is that the point?
Has it,
Yeah.
Jordan? Has it? Is this the template? Has this got the hole in the middle of it? Because I know that there's a new version now.
I'm pretty sure you can, because I know John shows it.
It's all over social media.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're not
yeah.
It's not really a gimmick in the fact that you could go and make it. You know, you're buying.
Well, to be honest, it's that cheap. There's you wouldn't anyway.
No, exactly.
Well, the thing is, well, there's a new version now which has a hole in the centre.
Right.
Which enables you apparently to take the card out easier.
Right. Okay.
Because once was that a trouble for you? Because I know that he's rectified that since.
Ah, right.
And now the new ones have a hole in the centre, which allows you just to pop the card back out again.
I see.
Yeah, that's what I probably could have done another 3 then.
Oh, wow.
Because when that goes in there and you score it, you can't get it out.
It's
so
like
you have to
makes a vacuum almost out of the air behind it. Yeah, I see. So, well, that's good that he's fixed that.
What about, are the markings clear? Can you notice them? I mean, if you had a spectator select the card, obviously we're not going to see there. But if you had a spectator select a card, would they notice that there is a score?
You can feel it more than you can see it. Can't you?
Okay.
But I don't.
And they're not feeling the card. I've never had anyone feel the card.
And if they do, they're not know what it's to feel like. I've had a go with this, and you can feel it. But I think it's one of those things that, excuse me, if you're not looking for it, in the same way that there's a few of these sort of feel mark decks on the market recently. If you're not looking for it, you're not going to feel it. I don't think really.
No, you can definitely feel it, and I probably wouldn't want to use a full deck.
No, but John has said this. You can do the whole deck, or you can do a few and then bring them in as you need them, can't you?
Yeah, So I'd probably have a full deck of them and then just leave them in my top pocket and just take one out every now and again.
You're not doing any different. You're not learning a new effect here. You're adding this. You already do a card fold, and you just want it to be neat. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, good.
And how neat is it, Jordan? That is pretty. I mean, that's it's perfect. That's
as best as you're going to get if you were to do it at. Well, I'll do a normal one.
But doesn't that look good if you were doing like a card to box or something?
Yeah.
That's what
That's my normal one.
Yeah. So I would say that's fine for card to mouth or something, isn't it?
Yeah. To be honest, I've always got away with that anyway.
Yeah.
So you're comparing, that against that really. But obviously, if somebody can do an absolutely perfect one every time, then
I don't think they are. I don't think
I don't think anyone can. To be fair,
we can have this debate as well whether you actually need to be perfect or whether you can get away with it if you're just using a Mercury box or something like that. Which, funnily enough, I've got here, and you're just going to tip it out. Then does it really need to be?
Does it do that? The same card.
That's good anyway. Right, next up then.
I've got balls in mine as well.
Excuse me.
What have you opened there?
Britain's Got Talent is in the doghouse.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Now, last week we mentioned that there was a dog. I said there was a talking dog on there.
In passing,
and none of you believe me.
You went,
a dog can't talk, Aaron. A dog can't sing.
That's what I said.
You went, Aaron, get off that glue. Let's talk about the show.
Now, so there's been a dog on Britain's Got Talent by the name of Miss Wendy. And Mark Matral. Now, I've seen this guy. I know I have. I can't place where, but...
Has he been at Blackpool?
I don't think he's been at Blackpool.
Because I remember, honestly, I think it was my first Blackpool convention. There was a French ventriloquist act.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Who had lots of different puppets.
He didn't do this,
though. No, but he had lots of puppets.
He had a toucan that come out and went...
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Kept doing that.
I think it might have been him.
Was it him?
But I've seen him a few places as well, and I know for a fact that he's been working this act for years and years and years. This dog in question, he's been doing it for 5 years. Now, the reason we say that is because there has been uproar. The ICC have received... Is it the ICC?
21 complaints Ofcom got.
That's quite a lot, actually, honestly. 21 is quite a lot. There have been adverts taken off TV for like six complaints.
Yeah.
So
the video's not available now either on that website.
No, it's not. No, we're not going to play that anyway because we got into trouble last week.
Yeah, we did for playing Darcy Oaks.
Playing Darcy Oaks.
Darcy Oaks advert. YouTube went, you can't do that.
Yeah, only YouTube flagged it up. Darcy hasn't contacted us, or anyone from his people haven't contacted us. YouTube have flagged it up, and the show's still there. It just means you can't watch it in French Guinea. And we're not allowed to advertise on that one. So, but apart from that, we're okay. Don't worry, don't panic. But yeah, so anyway, he's got this dog with a vent mask. Basically, it's made for a dog. And the issue here, now this has been done before. Back in 2012, there was a guy on America's Got Talent who had a bulldog that had a mask that took.
Right.
But this one, it was literally just a flap that sort of sat underneath the dog's chin.
Yeah, whereas this is an actual...
It relied on the dog keeping its mouth shut.
This is an actual mask.
Whereas this seems to sit quite over the head of the dog. And the issue here is that perhaps the dog hasn't been able to pant under the hot lights. Obviously, dogs panting is how they... That rings a bell. How they get rid of... sweat, dogs sweat through their tongue, so all the dog has been sort of muzzled, and some people say he looks scared and all that, but I don't know really. Obviously this has been taken up by the RSPCA. Whether or not you agree with their practices is a totally different topic, but it's been looked into. and whether or not it's an issue for the dog, really.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. My favourite bit is the video. They always show stills of the clip.
Yeah.
And they have like little things like Simon Cowell thought the act was incredible, and even called his girlfriend Lawrence and tell her about it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. And then they got a picture of the dog's jaw. It's convincing. Miss Wendy's mouth moved perfectly in time with the music. But it is believed the dog had a fake jaw. Yeah. Really? Is it really?
I put that on my Facebook.
Apparently, the dog wasn't.
There's also a mock-up of what the jaw might look like. Now, nobody knows this yet because... Is it Mark? Did I say Mark, the guy's name? Mark has created this himself. And so somebody has done... This is amazing. An artist's impression.
Yeah.
Like when somebody goes to course and they'll take a photo.
It's so funny.
Of what this... here's what it may look like. It is believed that a false mouth was placed on Miss Wendy's face, which is triggered by a remote control. It's not believed. That's what's happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't feel like I'm tipping a method here. That's the problem.
No,
I talk about this on my Facebook page where there's...
It's like the no one kicks off when you put a vent mask on a man.
No, well, no, but nobody's going, how's he done that?
No, but they're heavy though. I would imagine that the human ones are heavier
it's not a
mask.
Than that. Maybe they've used hydraulics, and that's why people are complaining.
What? And put a little pneumatic pump inside the dog's
so
mouth.
Like,
perhaps. The best thing for me, like I say, I can't play the clip, but the best thing for me was I can't tell whether Simon Cowell was taking the mick or not. When at the end he went, "How have you taught her the words?"
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know if it's something. I know that a lot of people have, and I know we're not calling this magic as such.
No, but it's
still within the industry. A lot of people get. I know they get a lot upset. What's wrong with my words today? A lot of people get upset. They can't talk proper. A lot of people get upset when they see animals being used in magic in general.
Yeah.
I've been at conventions before where somebody made a tiger appear.
Yeah.
And half the audience booed.
Yes, but I think the difference... I kind of agree. I think the difference is that a tiger isn't kept in a... It shouldn't naturally be kept inside a house.
But you could say...
This is a dog.
Yeah, but
this
you
is
could...
kept in... he's only keeping that dog like anyone keeps a dog.
But you could... with a mask on it.
Well, no.
A muzzle.
Yeah, muzzles. Dogs wear muzzles. That's a thing.
I don't know.
That dog could be a nasty little shit for all we know.
Yeah,
and he has to have it on, and he thought, well, seeing as he's having it on, I might as well stick a little jaw on it.
Draw it on. It's like when you get a plaster cast.
Imagine seeing it down the street. Isn't that a nice dog?
Oh, look at that.
It's like when you get a plaster cast and people draw on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You may as well do something with it.
Do you know the thing
he could have so much fun with that, couldn't he? I'm just going to piss on my next door neighbour's car.
my dog broke its leg years ago. When it's dead now, but when I was a child, my dog broke its leg, and I had to have one of them. What are the cones on their head?
The cone of shade.
Yeah, you decorate them. You decorate them, don't you? You decorate them. Well, my dad is a renowned skinflint, and the man peels an orange in his pocket. He's really well, so he doesn't have to share it.
Yeah.
He honestly
does it without the smell getting out?
so tight. Well, the dog's leg, obviously a broken leg, had this bandage on. Well, it started to smell a little bit. Right. For some reason, dogs' wounds smell worse than humans' wounds.
Right.
I don't know what, but so it started to stink. So you need to get that cone, and you need to get these. I'm not doing that. Hang on. And he grabbed the paper bin, like a plastic bin, and he just cut the bottom off the bin, put some duct tape around the edge of it, cut some holes in. It took him a good hour or so. Quite ingenious, really.
Yeah, a bit of a Blue Peter moment.
Strapped that to her collar, so she'd walk around with a bin. But then it was stinking. So them little them round air fresheners, like just with the double-sided tape on the back of them.
Yeah.
We just ended up sticking them on the bucket. So she's walking around with a bin and these air fresheners on her bucket.
You know that all the people who complained about this dog are now going to be calling up us.
Them. No, seriously, no. I know people do get upset about using animals, but Johnsy, you worked with an animal
for years, and we used a rabbit. And to be honest, we did retire the rabbit eventually because I don't know if I mentioned this on the show before. This rabbit, and I'm sure this Miss Wendy,
way out the little box that you had it in.
Yeah, this Miss Wendy will be kept so well. It's Mark's livelihood. It's his mortgage. Any other dog, and the exact same with our rabbit. Our rabbit was kept. It was like the king of rabbits. This rabbit was. It was kept so well. But we used to let the kids stroke the rabbit at the end of the show, and one time a kid came up and stroked it and just went, and just punched it right in the head, and it started twitching, and we had to take it, and it was fine afterwards. But we thought, no matter how well we keep this rabbit, there's no way that we can stop that sort of thing happening. So whereas I think I'm just a little bit bitter about this story, to be honest, because at the end of it, Simon Cowell says, I have absolutely no idea how it's done. Yet we went on with our box routine, and he said, I figured it out in 3 seconds. I'm thinking, so you can see a fake arm, but
you can't see
when a dog talks...
When a dog talks, you believe it.
You believe it. Idiot.
When a dog talks, funnily enough, in a French accent as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you do with the kid that punched the rabbit? Did you kick it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the rabbit called?
Oh God, I don't know. It's dead to me now. Stop turning me money. So
we used to have
Trixie, I think. Trixie.
My dog was called Trixie, the one with the bin on its head.
Yeah, that was what they used to. Remember when we used to come around and borrow it?
The dog.
Trying to feed it carrots.
I had a rabbit, and it died. It didn't eat like normal food. We'd give it like cheese on toast in the morning, like for one day. Then the next day we'd have like
you didn't
ham.
Give it rabbit, did you?
Then the next day we'd have like ham, like a ham toasted sandwich.
Yeah.
And then it died the next day, and the vet said it died of mixing its toasties. Woo!
The Deception Convention returns to Liverpool in the UK on Sunday the 14th of June 2015. We've got star lectures from John Allen, Kieran Johnson, Alan Morrison and Grant Clark. We've got over a dozen dealers and 2 yet-to-be-announced exclusive hands-on workshops. So exclusive, we haven't booked them yet. And our after-show party includes performances from John Allen, the one and only Aaron Hayes, and Kieran Johnson's Prestidigitation Regurgitation Act, which is about as difficult to watch as it is to say. For more information and tickets, go to www.deceptionconvention.co.uk.
Deception Podcast, sponsored by U2.
What do you mean, U2?
It just sounds like Bono's about to join in with that music.
It's so good.
Really, I have fun. This city walls.
It's just a good bit of upbeat music.
Is it really? But yeah, listen, we haven't. I'll be honest. We're talking about Deception because obviously it needs to be mentioned anyway.
Okay.
But it's a bit of a slow magic week.
So we have a little plug.
So I thought let's talk about the convention. I know that you're saying what's in there, but
I tell you what, we'll do a exclusive announcement right here.
Oh my word!
I've just thought it's not a massive thing, but it's a thing that's not been mentioned yet.
It is.
So we've got 4 lecturers.
Oh,
excuse me, I'm burping. We've got Alan Morrison.
Oh.
We've got who's if you don't know him, he's a
Mr. TV man, isn't he?
Himself. Yeah, he's currently doing quite a lot of what do they call it? Consultancy work on TV. Pretty much the guy behind Troy now. He's Alan Morrison.
He's done tons with Troy, done tons with Dynamo.
So we've got Alan Morrison. We've got Grant Clark, who's I want to say a young up and coming lad, but he's not that young, is he? But he's relatively new to the scene. He's one of the underground guys.
Yeah, I think he's just started releasing stuff with Illusionist.
Yeah, he's just been taken on with Illusionist. Before that, he was heavily involved with Enigma.
That's right.
Some really nice ideas, a lot of stuff that doesn't use cards. Does a lot of sort of what I would call
please don't use the O word.
Real world mentalism.
Okay.
I don't know what the O word is.
Organic.
No. But it is, though. He does mentalism. He does sort of like think of numbers, but rather than billets and little envelopes, he uses iPhones and
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So that's really good, I think. We've got John Allen, who we've already talked about on the show. Perfect Score, Destination Box, Silent Treatment,
Paragon,
Pain Game, Paragons. Pretty much everything he's released has been a massive commercial success. His theory on magic as well is fantastic. It's one of the only magic books I've got on my shelf. Is Experience. That's freaky. Look at that. Experience by John Allen. It's actually signed. I'll read out the dedication to John T.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
To John
to
T.
Dave. I bought it off Secondhand Magic.
It's even better.
Well, no, it says to John T. or whoever ends up having this. Many thanks and see you soon, John Allen. I said don't put my name on it in case I put it on eBay, but he refused. I've also got one by Pat Page there.
Don't do it. That's not signed.
That's not signed, no.
That's not signed.
And who else have we got? And Kieran Johnson, you'll all know from To The Max, the Ice production, Remaxed Ice Location, Chaotic.
Free capped.
Just all, Kieran, he's everywhere. He's
Again,
like
a lot of his stuff is appearing on telly as well now.
Yeah,
Kieran's.
yeah. I know Free Cap.
I know Troy used it, but the people it's being used a lot on Killer Magic. A lot of his stuff on there as well. So.
And there it is. Too Hot to Handle. That's his new one. Yeah, that's the hot can of Coke. So they four lecturers. On the night time, John Allen and Kieran's going to be performing. John Allen's going to be doing a selection from his cabaret set. Kieran's going to be doing his regurgitation act, where he regurgitates stuff, and you're doing a bit as well.
I'm doing my solo spot, which is entitled "The Problem with Magic."
Oh right, okay. It's not like this is going to be like the magician's version of the vagina monologues.
Pretty much,
just a bitter man standing on stage.
I'm going to sit on a stool. I'm going to turn all the lights down, and you're going to stand there with a torch above my head, and we'll just talk. Hopefully, the glare off my bald spot doesn't blind you.
We have too many dealers now.
Yeah, we do.
Okay? We had a dozen dealers last year. We're up to about 16 this year. I genuinely don't know where I'm going to fit them. Our last dealer yet to be announced, who I'll announce now, is Wayne Dobson.
Hey.
So Dietrich are going to be there, as well as loads of others, all your favourites, Magic Dow, sorry, I should say it right, Magic World, Enigma. Who else we got? There's loads and loads and loads. I'm going to bring them up on the thing so I don't miss anybody. Now you see Adrian Sullivan, Brian Watson, The Green Tea, Harry Robson, Magic Dow, we said, Mighty Magic, PJ, local legend PJ, Spellbound Magic, as again, another local shop, Vanishing Ink are there, Wayne Goodman's there again as a dealer, and there's a few others as well. I haven't mentioned Jordan Murphy, who's started manufacturing his mats.
Yeah.
Along with
he's making me one for the shop,
along with a few other things as well. I think so.
They are
anyway,
fantastic.
This is just a massive plug, but we would really love to see you there. We're all going to be. I say we're all going to be there. Jordan's like a bit iffy at the minute, only because his wife has a baby due that week. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or like a few days before, isn't it, or something?
7th of June.
7th of June, so the week before. So it's a bit up in the air. So
it's the second one, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she'll be there earlier on. They fall out after the first one, apparently. It's like shelling peas.
Yeah, hopefully, mate, yeah.
So hopefully Jordan will be there. Obviously, me and Aaron will be there. And it'd just be great to see you. We had such a good laugh last year. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, do you know what? It was just a lot of fun. That's all.
So anyway, all this information and much more, and obviously tickets are available at deceptionconvention.co.uk. Right then. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Time for your quiz. It's my turn to pose the questions this week.
Yes, it is.
If you've not seen this or heard this yet, we're going to give you 4 titles of tricks. One of them is not real, and the other 3 are. And it's up to the other 2 people to figure out which one's which. So it's my turn this week. Scores are 2-2 to everyone. 2-2-2.
Yeah, we don't need to explain the scoring just now, but yeah, the scoring's quite... Basically... Oh yeah, we'll just explain it really quickly. The person who poses the question, they ask, and we have to try and guess and see which one is the wrong one. If we get it right, then we receive a point each. The person who gets it right receives a point.
Gets the point, yeah.
If none of us get it right, then the person who created the tricks gets 2 points. And if only one of us gets it right, and the others and the other doesn't, then the person posing the question gets a point as well.
So the theme is this week: they are all tricks created by Adrian Sullivan.
Oh gosh!
So this is a guy who is lecturing at
He's not lecturing.
He's dealing at Deception Convention. He's well known, Adrian. He goes to all the conventions, and he's known for budget effects, I would say. Sort of very cheap little tricks. There's a little few cards in a packet, but like all the tricks are like £2 or something. So these are all effects by him. All you have to do is tell me which one is not real. And I'm just picking the fourth one. Oh, I had one.
Looks like a well-oiled machine in it.
And it just... there it is.
There he
I've had
is.
that one already.
Who's a good boy?
Who's this?
Oscar.
Jordan's
got a
got his
mask
dog
on him?
on the screen
We're
now.
going to go.
Right, here we go.
Come on, let's do the quiz now. Let's do the quiz.
Number one.
Sorry.
He's vented with it.
Number one.
Getting him a mask. Buy him off Adrian Sullivan.
Number one then. Micropsychic.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
That's what we're starting with. Micropsychic.
That sounds like a normal trick. That I like the sound of that.
Number two.
I don't know what, though.
There is no problem.
I think that will be in effect by Adrian Sullivan.
Why is that?
Because it's the type of thing that he would say whilst performing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a real one.
Other kind of control.
Other kind of control.
Yeah.
I think that's a real one as well. And I think you're just trying to double bluff us a little bit on that.
What sort of stuff does he do? Is it
it's packet tricks. Do you remember
tricks,
that? Do you remember that Viagra matches I bought at Blackpool? That's one of his.
All right.
Next one,
Number
Viagra
match.
Have you really got it?
And number four is black sheep.
Hang on a minute, Oscar.
Yes.
You don't get
like
to have a go.
They don't like
Like
sheep.
sheep.
So I'll read them again for you. Micropsychic. There is no problem. Other kind of control. And black sheep.
All right, just because I don't really know what any of them are, I'm going to go with the first one.
Same here.
Just for the pure fact that I think he's thrown that in first.
Micropsychic.
I'm going to say micropsychic as well.
Yeah?
I don't know why. I just think the other ones sound like things he would say whilst he's performing.
Right, okay.
Okay?
I'll say you now, you're both wrong.
Oh, you
They were going to say both right.
No, unfortunately not. No, this is good, this. There is no problem. The Black Sheep and Micropsychic are all magic effects by Adrian Sullivan. Other Kind of Control is a book based on how to play Magic the Gathering, a card game, by another Adrian Sullivan.
That's quite impressive, really. Well done.
So technically, they're all Adrian Sullivan.
Well, then
but only
they're
three of them are the
you-
Adrian
you-
Sullivan magician. So yeah, you're wrong. So that's 4 to me. 4-2-2.
So that's not a magic book then?
No, Magic the Gathering. It's like a card game. It's like a
Right.
You get cards with like wizards and goblins and stuff on. You know, it's like a fantasy game. But
I don't know either, Jordan.
no, I don't
worry.
play it. I know of it though. But,
Hey,
you know,
Mason, there's
there you
nothing
go.
wrong with that. If you want to play it, play it.
No, I don't. Anyway, time for your Sounds Like You're Playing Me Yourself. Quick one tonight. It is from Smudged by John Horn. Is it John Horn talking in the video?
No,
Is
it's
it Dave
Loosley
Loosley? Right,
and
I thought so. So it's an
Peter Hardy.
RSVP thing then, yeah. Sorry, an Alakazam thing then.
Alakazam, isn't it, Dave Loosley?
Right, okay.
I've got it here, because I've just done it.
Oh, there we
Alakazam
go.
release. There we
By
go.
John Horn. So this is the it's the reveal. The reveal's along the side of the pen, isn't it?
Yeah, you basically get 2 pens with 2 different reveals on.
No, I'm not taking anything away from this because I think it's
this
actually
has
quite
been
a nice
about,
reveal.
hasn't it?
Yeah, sure. This exists, doesn't it?
I've had Sharpies with 4 of clubs on
So
the
is
back
it the
of
fact that it's sort of smudged is the thing?
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah,
'Cause you've been able to get the ones that say 6 of clubs
Yeah.
in the S writing. Yeah,
You see it there,
so
yeah?
the S is there, yeah, and then you smudge. Yeah, so it's not quite a nice looking thing, I suppose. Gives it a reason to be written on the pen.
Yeah.
Well, I say a reason, a more reason than just
Don't
having
do
the
it
word
so
changed.
fast, Jordan.
Anyway, so it's very nice.
Sorry,
Anyway, it's available from Alakazam Magic. This is Smudged by John Horn. This week sounds like you're playing with yourself.
It sounds like you're playing with yourself.
Doing it here, but instead of going back, you're actually just laying it in the left hand.
Yeah.
This is quite ballsy, but you literally, instead of doing it back, you just go back and your thumb goes straight onto where the S is.
Oh, nice.
So I dribble down, I just say stop. Stop. I threw this in at the end as an extra kicker, and it got a great reaction.
It sounds like you're playing with
Again,
yourself.
any dribble
Hey.
gets me. Does it me or does Dave sound drunk on that?
it probably was.
Well,
Sorry, Dave.
right, time for this. This week we asked you what's the one little bit of advice you would give to a newbie, a new magician, somebody just getting into it.
Can I make a prediction?
Is somebody going to say
Don't bother.
Don't bother. Yeah. I don't think actually anyone does. Now, a lot of these, interestingly,
Oh, there is one, I think. But
They all
it's-
come they all sound like they come from a genuine place, but some of them are very different. some people, very have opposite ideas of what is a good bit of advice. So Peter Simmons just says is to enjoy it. Michael Fox says, don't let magic define you. That's what I feel very strongly about, actually. And Russ Appleby has said, stop dressing like one. Which I do agree with, but what, a suit?
It's probably the playing card tie.
Do you know what? I'm going to say this now. I think there's a really small percentage of magicians who wear stuff like that.
The pin badges with the bunny on. And
I think there's. I mean, I've really.
Not the magic bunny badges you can get. The ones that it's like a little diamante bunny.
Yeah.
You know the ones I mean.
I think that honestly, I think there's a really small percentage of magicians who do that.
I'll say this: we all own them. We've all been given one as a gift.
I've never bought them, but I've been bought card cufflinks.
I've never had a playing card tie, but I've had cufflinks and stuff like that.
I had some.
I've never worn them.
They were little dice. You could actually screw them off and use them as dice. They were quite nice. They were quite little and silver, and they look fine. Good. Anyway, more on Michael Flinks next week. Dale Shrimpton has said, seek out, talk to, and learn from magicians face-to-face. Internet talk just is no substitute. I would agree with that. Sean Rader goes on to say, find a mentor.
Phil Taylor says, don't listen to other magicians, find your own way, and read books.
So there you go. That is the exact opposite of what a couple of other people have said. A couple of people have said, go out, find magicians, see what they have to say. Interesting, isn't it, that?
So find your way and read books. John Curry says practice a lot. Sean McCree says absorb as much as you can. I won't say read, however you learn. Thank you, Sean. About as many aspects. Read about as many aspects of magic as you can, not just one specific field.
There's quite a few bits of really good advice there. I totally agree with that one. However you learn is best.
Yeah,
100%.
I fully agree with that.
I see too many times now on forums. I'm really into magic. I really want to learn. We need to buy Royal Road to Card Magic.
It's a terrible book. It's dated and old and badly written now. It's a very difficult book to learn from. I'm going off on a little tangent here now, but I've probably mentioned this before. I've gone back to uni. I'm doing the Open University.
Students.
I'm doing it at home. I've got all.
Can you get me a cheap iMac?
All me OU books up here. And one of the courses I've been doing recently is a networking course, all about linking computers together and boring stuff like that. And everything up until now, I've had books come in the post, like these ones here, these big books. And for this networking course, it's all online. And I absolutely hate it because I sit down in this computer. I mean, look at the setup I've got here. I've got the more distractions in this room than I have anywhere else, and I'm sitting in front of the portal of distraction. Do you know what I mean? There's the internet, there's porn, there's everything. I'm not going to learn sitting here.
Every time you go on the internet, it always leads to porn, doesn't it?
Pretty much every single time. I don't think I've ever sat down at a computer on the internet and
mate, come on, turn it off now, though. Mate, we're in the show.
But my point is that I can take that book and I can go downstairs and I can have a coffee and sit in the dining room or whatever and cut off, So I think that however you learn better, some people probably relish in the fact they can sit in front of a computer and look up stuff and find things from here and go things there. But for me, that doesn't work. So I think people saying you have to read is a very bad bit of advice, I think, because, what if somebody doesn't read? What if somebody's like Jordan, who can't string a sentence together?
Do you know what? I just find it probably similar to like yourself with just getting all those books. I find it boring.
Yeah. I can read... I don't even really read fiction. Outside of magic, I actually do read a lot of non-fiction. I read a lot of books on companies and, business and things like that. So I don't mind reading, but for me, to learn something, especially magic, which is such a visual art form.
Yeah.
For me, it's so better.
I know why people say read, because then you're not copying the performer from the DVD.
I get that. I like the DVDs I like the most, I think, are the ones that never say anything and they're sort of advertised as multilingual, and they'll just show the move very slowly from multiple angles.
Yeah.
David Stone did that with his Splash Bottle 2.0.
Yeah,
with his close-up ones as well, to be fair.
I think Ponce of the Smith's coin DVD was like that.
Yeah, sick, yeah.
I've seen a few others. Jay Sankey had one. It was called something like 47. It was however many tricks were on the DVD.
Yeah.
He works them all, though.
Yeah.
He works them all.
Every single table gets every
Doesn't he?
single one.
Works it all.
So anyway, I don't agree in that you have to read. I do agree.
I like a good magic book.
I do agree with going back and not just buying whatever the new DVD is or whatever the new download is.
I think as well,
But I don't think the opposite of that is only reading. Sorry.
With the books and stuff, obviously online and on forums and stuff before Facebook was a big thing. You'd go on Magic Bunny a lot more and Magic Cafe and stuff like that. And you'd get new people coming in saying, how do you do this? What's this sort of move and all that? So I think it's stemmed a little bit from there as well. People saying, go away, read these books, learn the basics first, and then come back.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way, if you know.
It's quite elitist, though, isn't it? Really.
No, I don't know. I
it is. No, it is a little bit. It is a little bit.
People should study the basics, but I don't think the emphasis is on you have to read. Apart from the fact that yes, the majority of the basics are in book form. And I'm sure somebody goes on to say, know your place, learn your history, and I totally agree with that as well. But I don't think this whole idea is you have to read. Yeah, I just don't agree.
I don't think you have to read. I think it's if you can, though. I personally would advise it because I found some gems in books.
Aaron?
Where are we?
Do you want to do this one, Jordan, or
Eli? Is it?
I don't know actually. I
think it's Cheyenne.
Join your local magic club. You will always grow exponentially.
Oscar appreciates your reading there as well. Wayne Goodman said, I love a good mass debate.
He's a good old
thank you, Wayne. Cheers for that.
Gordon Astley said, you can buy the tricks, but you can't buy the magic. Do you know what? It's a bit wishy-washy, but I quite like that, actually. I agree. You can go out and buy the tricks. There's got to be something in you. If you want to perform as a magician, now this is something that me and a few other people have talked about lately, and I don't think it's necessarily a recent thing, but it's something I'm taking to heart lately, is that I think people only assume that magicians have to be people who go out and do magic at tables or perform on a stage.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few people who make a very comfortable living out of magic by not performing, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I think if you're going to perform, there's got to be something. But if you just want to, not even make a living, if you just want to sit and learn tricks, fill your boots. Do you know what I mean? I know people out there who are incredibly dexterous, do amazing things, but will not show anybody because that's not why they've learned to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The reason they've done
it
is because they're fascinated by it and they like to see things happen in their hands. But they're not bothered about showing other people. That's fine. But I think if you are going to show other people, there's got to be something that's built into you. You've got to have that. Just like
you've got to be entertaining, haven't you? Yeah, likability.
You know I think you need to have a bit. You need to have a bit of a presence.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it has to be entertaining. To be honest,
I think if you need to have a presence. You need to have something, or say something, or be doing something that is going to make the audience or whoever you're performing for. Look at you, stop what they're doing, put their iPad down and watch you.
Yeah.
Faye Presto goes on to say that.
If somebody walked up to a fire wallet, then Jonty's pet hate, just did a fire wallet, that's going to make them put something down and stop and look at you, but it's not.
Yeah, it is. In the grand scheme of things, you have to look over you have to look over the
I know what you mean, I was just saying that.
Yeah, just being awkward. Right?
Faye Presto goes...
just doing a mic drop.
Faye Presto goes on to say, listen to your audience. You do have an audience.
Yeah, listen to your audience, I think, is very important, actually. I think people can get a bit stuck in their own heads. And at the end of the day, if you are performing, you're only doing it for them, really.
Sorry, Jordan, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say Andy Charlton. He's probably at the nail on the head as well. Perfect one or two effects and perform them everywhere you can. I think that's quite important as well if you're going to do something, to learn it, to master it, to know it inside out.
Yeah.
So you don't...
I think it's an old song. I think it's an old singing thing, but I'm sure somebody said something like, I'd rather hear 2 songs sang brilliantly than 20 songs sang okay.
Yeah, it's true.
And you can quite easily apply that to magic, can't you? I'd rather see 2 amazing tricks than 20.
He's a drummer, isn't he, Andy, as well?
Okay.
That's probably where...
Yeah, maybe it is from that, yeah.
Marcus Bailey says work on presentation. Stacey Smith says turn back now.
There we go.
Someone said it.
Stacey wins. You win the prize. We'll send it out to you in a little bit. Catherine Jordan, sorry, this is yours. It's in red.
Catherine Rhodes, generally don't listen to advice from magicians. Why? Unless they're a working pro and actually know what they're talking about.
100% disagree.
I'll be honest, I think that's all.
Disagree as well.
Personally, I think it's a little bit elitist to say that only a working because I know working professional, and this is genuinely the truth. I know working professionals who are doing dynamic coins and Svengali decks.
I know working professionals who are
they're doing
terrible.
They're doing
terrible.
They're woeful. They're awful. I've seen there's. Should I just say it?
Don't say a name.
I'm not going to say a name. I'm not going to say anyone.
The restaurant he works in.
I'm not going to. No.
I know you're on about though.
But there's magicians on television who are performing. Well, they must be a working professional. They're not. I'm saying I would personally. I'd rather listen to the old boy at the Magic Club.
You want and take what you want from that and make it your own.
I would listen to anybody who wants to talk to me, and then I'll decide.
Really, because I've seen you pretend you're on the phone when them people in the bibs in the street come over. Hi, sir. I just want a little chat with you about.
I'm never on the phone. I tell him exactly what I think.
Yeah, well, that's why you're so loved.
I said I already give money to charity, and if I was deciding to give money to more charity, it wouldn't be some greasy-haired student with a gap year and a clipboard who's going to make me decide which charity it is.
Do you want to buy a badge? Save the animals, £2.99. No, it's all right. I've got a dog with a vent mask.
Let's move on because that'll get to.
This is a good one. Dan Burgess has said, "Not everything your brain farts out needs to be a release."
That's true.
I think that is true. There is a thing at the minute, I don't know. I think because it's become so easy to produce content. I think it happens a lot.
Jay Sank is one of these type of people.
But I think also people coming into it new. I think now think that if you're a magician, you kind of have to release your own stuff.
Nah.
I think because of how easy it is to release stuff. It's happening a little bit in the video game world as well because of how easy it is to produce a video game. You haven't got to have the box with the CD on the shelf in game anymore. You can release stuff online because you can
and things like that. Games
because the instant downloads exist within Magic now. It becomes so easy to release an effect.
Look at Flappy Birds.
Hey,
well, look at that.
You might mean a pound behind him, though, wouldn't you?
Baz Fazakli says, go out and perform until the shakes and fears disappear and feelings of comfort and excitement arrive. You remember that first time you were working, your hands were shaking like a shitting dog.
You should always...
still get a bit of nerves now, though.
You get a little bit nervous. I can't remember who said it, but again, it was like an older actress or something.
Old actress, yeah.
If you don't get nervous, you're doing it wrong. Or
she said to a chorus girl, she went, "Are you nervous, sweetheart?" She went, "No, I'm not nervous at all." She went, "No, that'll come with talent."
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So I mean, the better you get at it, you are meant to anyway.
Steve Rose put explore and enjoy.
Hey, that's my motto of life in general, Steve.
Dan Versus has said, "Come on, what I said before. When somebody offers you advice, listen to it all. Ignore what doesn't feel right and tweak the rest for you. There is, however, one universal truth. Read." Again, I'm sorry, Dan, I don't agree.
You just said, Dan Burgess says, kind of what I said before, really.
No.
And then you said, I don't agree, actually.
I forgot you put that second bit. The first bit about listening to everything and then deciding what parts you're going to take. I agree with that. Always listen because you never know what you're going to hear.
I think people...
I don't think you have to read.
No, I think all right, maybe not read, but research. I saw a genuine post on a Magic forum on Facebook, on one of the many and the headline of the quote was, "What is the best colour change of 2015?" Right. And people saying, well, what about this one from Expert at the Card Table, the Erdnase, whatever? That's still a good... Hang on. And he went, no. I want to know what's the best one of this year? What was the best one of last year? So then people are going, are you off it? I think this is what people's gripes are, is that there seems to be the YouTube generation are coming into it now. They are learning off YouTube.
Yeah.
I know this because when you used to come into the shop, we'd have people. How many times would a child stand there and go, "Do you know Crazy Cuts 248 on YouTube?" No. What are you saying to me? You're just saying letters and numbers. Something that's not. I don't know who they are.
I don't know.
So they're learning off YouTube. What I'm saying is they're learning off YouTube, and then they're it's this whole thing of all of these old classics were eventually with this next generation are going to disappear.
Okay. So if
Alex,
somebody said, hold on, sorry, no, I've got to defend that point. If somebody said on Facebook, what's the best film you saw this year? Would you comment then saying, well, hold on, Shawshank Redemption was made 20 years ago, so it doesn't matter what was made this year?
No, I wouldn't, but they're massively different.
Why are they? He wants to know what do you think the best new colour change you've seen is? That's just how he's worded it. I'm just interested
I think
in seeing
with how
new
he's worded
tricks.
it, but I think what Aaron's thinking is that the chap is maybe a little bit new to that.
Yeah.
Or I tell you what people do as well, which frustrates me a little bit. Well, it does frustrate me a little bit, is the fact that when they put something online like that, they're just generally asking for a colour change, and rather than say, can somebody tell me a couple of colour changes to learn because I'm new to it, they'll say, what's the best colour change you've learned this week?
Yeah, but if they're new to Magic, probably the only way they know of asking that question is via saying, what's the best cool thing you've seen? Because in anything else, that's how you would ask it. If you were looking for something to watch, you would say to somebody, what have you seen lately that was pretty good? If you were looking for a new artist to listen to, who are you listening to at the minute who's good?
Yes.
You don't say for the whole history of music, what is the best thing I can listen to? You say, give me something new.
I see what you're saying, yeah. There's some that I've seen, it's like, I'm putting a cabaret
maybe.
together.
I mean, I'm not going to stick up for I can never stick up for a YouTube learner. So I don't.
Why?
Why? Because I think the whole point of you're hosting Deception Convention, you have 4 lecturers on there. What's the point in them coming? You learn their stuff on YouTube for free. Someone's bought an effect. It's all right, fine. Here's the tutorial to Kieran Johnson's to the max.
Okay.
You don't need to bother going see it now.
So are the only videos on YouTube rip-offs then? Is that what you're saying?
No, there aren't.
There's nobody. There must be a channel on YouTube that's pretty much just working through something like Royal Road and teaching, sort of public domain stuff.
No, there's Brian Brushwood. He's Scam School. But he goes on there and goes, here's a great thing, by the way. It's called the Invisible Deck. So here's how you make it.
Invisible Deck's public domain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. But I would say the majority of tutorial videos on YouTube of Magic tutorial videos are not fit. When you say it's public domain, I mean they're people's releases.
Yeah. Okay. So
that have been out a week.
But that's the problem with the people who are creating it, but not with the people who are watching it.
Why?
Because what I'm saying is, if you're a kid of 14 now, if you want to learn how to, if you want to know how to play Minecraft,
I know what you're saying.
Minecraft
Yeah,
videos,
okay, yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you want to know how to, I have a channel showing how to code video games.
You can defend it as much as you like.
So,
I just don't like it, and my heart sinks when people say someone will show up a video.
Part of it. Yeah, it's not the fact that it's just because it's YouTube. It's the fact that people are releasing things and then somebody's copying it and blurbing the method out.
So your problem is with the person who's copying it, not with the kids who are watching it. How are they to know?
Both.
How are they to know?
Because they know. Come on, John T.
So you're telling me you've never downloaded? You've never downloaded a song. You've never watched something online that you shouldn't have.
I watch a lot of things. I probably shouldn't do.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Here's Coinvexed. How much is it? Let's say 80 quid for you, brand new.
Yeah.
That's all right. No, I'll go on the internet. Get it for 20 quid. Get a rip off of it. Get a rip off. You're gonna do it.
I totally agree.
No,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I think we should move on because otherwise it's gonna get. I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna slap him.
What I'm saying is that these kids, these people,
kiss, bang, bang,
need to be educated into how because Magic is a very strange industry when it comes to copyright and things like that. It is a very, very wishy-washy area, because it's ideas. Ideas are very difficult to pin down, and I think that these kids need to be educated in how it works.
Well,
I don't think that knocking them down and telling them to read 100-year-old book.
I'm not saying to read. I'm not saying that they have to read a book.
The thing is as well, it's cost implications of stuff. So to trademark something or to protect it is the cost of things.
Yeah, is it worth doing it when you're going to sell? If you're making DVDs at 20 quid and you're selling 100 of them, is it worth paying
for me,
200 odd quid for?
I'd spend the money.
Yeah, but you're selling how many of them at 200 quid a pop? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're a new guy who's coming up and coming, made himself a little DVD, he's knocking them out 20 quid each, and he's done 100 copies of it or whatever. There ain't no point paying the 300 quid to trademark it. And even then, what's the trademark code? The trademark is the name of the DVD. It's not the content of it, is it? That's copyright. You're covered under copyright for free. You haven't got to pay for copyright. Oh, mate, it's a minefield. It is a minefield. And I just want to say again, I'm not condoning rip-offs on YouTube. I'm saying is
I know what you're saying.
There is a way to
clarify that then.
Yeah, I just want to
because when you listen back to this,
I know,
you're going to be like,
I want to really just point out.
I've got a feeling that when we
way to wean kids off that sort of stuff.
I've got a feeling that when we do listen back to this, it's not going to sound anything like the conversation we're having now. I think it's just going to be we'll be all shouting, and then John T will just go quiet, and you'll hear John T in a really, really well edited voice going, "I do not agree with any of this, Aaron, and I don't like."
We're going to splice it all together from words over the place. Yeah. I do not agree.
Let's move on. Let's get moving. Daniel Saul says, "Go out and get caught." That's good. That's a good advice. That fall on your arse a couple of times. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't half help you.
Alex Fodden has said, still being relatively new myself, the 2 bits of advice I would give are to join a magic club. People there will happily tell you what the best starter books are, etc. And if you don't get something, someone there will do it and go through it with you.
Yeah. Or find a magician who does lessons, who does tuition.
And number 2 is put read.
Oh, yeah, there it is on the next right. See, read... I don't know. Half of me thinks
there are a lot of really good starter books that are not Royal Road, though. Nick Einhorn has a really good one. Mark Wilson's is really good.
If you're young, Making Magic by Faye Presto is a fantastic book. If you can still get hold of it, I don't know, it was produced a long time ago now.
I'm sure
it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction now. It's almost like it's burnt into people that they have to tell you to read books.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that you should definitely... I mean... I own a shop. I have a shop.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
They do. But when people come in,
not for everyone.
The thing is, I have people come into. I have people come into the shop who will say, "I really want to get into magic," and I don't say to them straight away, "Well, you need a pack of cards. You need that book."
Yeah.
Or you need a coin and that book there. You need. I wouldn't do that at all. I said, well, let's. First, you want something you can just do straight away that you can work on presentation with. Would you? How about booking into one of the lessons or something? Because we do tuition there, so it's different.
We call them money for old rope.
Yeah,
lessons.
Well, I know it sounds silly, but I've had people come into the shop before who can do Sybil cuts after Sybil cuts after Sybil cuts, yet. They just some simple, but some simple key card location things. They have it baffles them because they've bypassed it.
You can either buy Royal Road to Car Magic there for £7,
or
you can come in for a lesson for 20 quid, and I'll read it to you.
You have to do a flipstick move.
Give me a tenner, and I'll go through Poker Players Picnic with you.
Alex D. Fisher has said, join a club and ask what the best books and DVDs are to learn from. Get a view then and read and learn. Ignore the flash adverts online for new stuff. So you know the basics. If you have a problem with a move from a book or a DVD, then ask for help at the club. Personal tuition for free cannot be beaten. I totally agree with you there.
£10 for about half an hour normally is
totally
the going rate.
Buy some stuff. When people say read, I think what they should say is study the classics.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Swat up on. Just at least know what you're on about.
Get yourself something like Daryl's Encyclopedia of Card Sleights. That's not a book, and that's fantastic. It's solid. Yeah, that's great.
Face up.
Look at that. Jordan's doing moves. Work well on the audio show. So I think swat.
You get people that sign cards like that as well.
Swat up on the classics. Don't necessarily have to read. But Alex, I totally agree with what you said there. And the final word, Stacey. She had the final word last week.
Yeah,
it's become a thing, innit?
She said,
Stacey's final
can we have
thought.
a different accent? Can I do a different accent for her this week?
No.
She's from Yorkshire this week.
Go on.
My advice to all new magicians is to do a trick with a crosscut force. This might sound ridiculous, but that's kind of the point. See new magicians' faces light up when they baffle a muggle with a crosscut force really hammers home the reality of magic. You don't need complicated advanced methods to perform powerful magic.
Hey, cocker.
Hey, when you chucky egg. Jeffrey Boycott.
Good. I kind of agree. I think there's still got to be a level of skill.
Yeah,
there's still got to be a bit of skill in there.
I've got a quick one for you.
Oh, okay.
How many Mercury card folds can you do in 30 seconds?
What?
17.
Is he just been? He hasn't even been listening, has he?
What are you going to do with all them?
Throw them in bin.
Okay.
Dog
So
will
we
catch
got
the rats.
all we've got time for this
Good
week.
debate that.
folks.
Good debate that. I mean, amongst us,
Yeah.
we're going to leave Jordan to play with the dog, and I'm going to go and do some stuff. Thank you very much for listening. You can find us on all the usual channels, which Jonty's going to talk about now.
You can find us at deceptionconvention.co.uk. You can email us at info@deceptionconvention.co.uk. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/deceptionpodcast, and you can find us on Twitter at deceptionmagic. You can find us individually at Twitter. I'm at Jonty Sparrow.
I'm at the Aaron Hayes.
And I'm at Jordan O'Grady.
And that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I'm going to take him to Britain's Got Talent.
You feeding him Mercury folded cards?
Yeah, watch. Good.
Ridiculous.
If he poops them out flat again.
If they come out in
your
Stebbins,
card.
if they come
Signed.
out in Stebbins, I'll be so amazed.
Funny that.
The Deception Podcast is part of the Geekism Network. Get your geek around this. For more information on this and other shows, go to geekism-network.com.